Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Yulia Silfitri. I'm from NK1. So today I'm going to present you the material from the course Extensive Reading. So without any further ado, let's come to the first slide. So the article that I choose, the title is about advances in language and literary study. And the first one we talk about abstract, and of course we talk about the aim of study, which is to explore pre-service English language teacher perception of code switching in language classroom and how their perception affect their teacher identity development. And the second one is about introduction. There are three main points highlighted in this article. The first one is teacher identity, that shows how teachers perceive themselves as professional. And the second one is code switching, that is changing between languages in the same discourse in bilingual or multilingual environment. For example, was a student in English. When I talk to my friend, I use Indonesian language. So the what should I call it? The change it in English within Indonesian is called code switching. And the last one is about research question. The first one is what are the perception of pre-service English teacher about code switching, and the second one is how do the perception of pre-service English language teachers about code switching affect the process of their identity formation as a teacher. And this research question gonna answer in the next slides. So the next is about literature review. There are 2 points. The first one is teachers' identity development, that influenced by students' past experiences about learning. It also have an important effect on their identity development as a pre-service teacher. And the second point is the perception toward CS or L1 used in EFL. There are 3 perceptions. This is negative, neutral, and positive, and gonna explain in the next slides. And the fourth one is about method. There are 4 methods that used in this study. The first one is individual interview and graphic elicitation, and the second was initial coding and bracketing and analytic memo. The fifth point, we talk about findings. There are 3 points. The first one is the effect of pre-service teacher past experience. There are 5 points. The first one is the place for practice English is only in the classroom. The second one is language choice in EFL classroom. The third is the emphasizing point to make students understand. And the fourth is student feeling about CS. There are positive, negative, and neutral. And the last one is neutrality. And also the second point is identity development, the code of effect of professor or teacher used toward the student. And the last is the perception toward code switching, whether negative, neutral, and positive. And the sixth point, we got discussion, and there are 3 different opinion from different students. We can see the student M, N, and E. The student M holds negative perception, and neutral perception, and E positive perception. What is the difference from these 3 perception? The negative perception is mean he doesn't understand when the teacher use half English and half other languages, so it makes him confused. And the neutral perception is he doesn't matter whether the teacher use English or other language, as long as understand, it doesn't matter. So the positive perception is mean the student accept whether the teacher use English or not, as long as they understand, that's not the problem. And lastly, we come to the conclusion. There are 3 points in the conclusion. The first one is the aim of the study, which is that I already explained on the previous slide. If you forget, you can come back from the slide. And the second one is the finding, that their inclination of using either L1 or L2 is also found to be related to their past learning experiences, which are similarly linked to their identity development as language teacher. And the suggestion from the author is recommend the conduction of further studies about the pre-service teachers' choices of language used in the classroom and its effect on their identity. I think that's all about my presentation.